In today's video, I'll be sharing my entire makeup brush collection. If you're one that's been waiting, that's right, I pulled every makeup brush that I own, and I'm going to share that with you today. I hope you'll stick around. It's Lee and welcome to the channel today. I am so glad you're here, and if you are one that have been waiting on my makeup brush collection, you are in the right spot. So this is going to be a lengthy video. I suggest you get something to drink, get comfortable, and don't miss a beat, because every makeup brush that I own, I am going to share it with you today. I have done this by brands, okay? Here we go. I didn't even count them, but I will. Now, in a separate video, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite brushes that I use out of all these. Out of all these brands, all these brushes that I own, I'm going to be sharing with you the brushes that I actually use and use every single time that I do my face. We're going to kick it off with Rougher. Rougher is one of my favorite brands of brushes. Now I have purchased many Rougher brushes, and Rougher has sent me PR and sent me some brushes. But they are handmade, and they are in Japan, and they're natural goat hair. And that's why they're a little bit on the pricey side, because they are natural goat hair. And in a PR package, this is not a brush, but it is something I do want to share with you. This is an eyelash curler. Now, when I curl my lashes, I always use my Rougher eyelash curler. I'm going to start right off with number one. Number one is a shader blender brush. I use this brush an awful lot. Number one, you've heard me speak about it. Number one, I do it for shading and for blending. The second brush is number 15. I also use this brush a lot on my eyes for shading and blending. Number 3 is a pencil brush. I use this brush a lot for liner, for a winged look, if I did a winged look in years past, but I don't do a winged look on my eyes anymore. But number 3 is good for a winged look. Number 5 is a blush brush. Natural goat hair. Wonderful, wonderful blush brush. It's going to be a crazy day. Number 13 is a crease brush. It's a long, pointy, not real pointy, but it is a longer brush. That's number 13. I use that brush a lot on my eyes. Number 14 is also a longer, tapered brush. This is great for the eye area, you know. I can't see the numbers if I take my glasses off, so please forgive me on that, you know. This is number 14. I use this in the crease. When I go right in there and, you know, want to deepen that crease right there with that darker color, I'll use this number 14. Maybe I can do it by memory. Number 23 is a little pencil brush. This is number 23. This is Rougher's smallest brush. Now, unless they have came out with a smaller brush, since I purchased this one years ago, this is their smallest brush, which is number 23. It's a pencil brush. It's great for along the bottom lashes. That's what I use it for, to blend or to put color down on the bottom. Number 4 is a contour brush. Kind of like number 5, but it's not as fat, not as thick. Can you see the difference? And it is, turn it from the side, it's tapered. You see how number 5 is fatter for the blush? This is a contour brush, number 4, and you see how it's tapered. And you can just blend that and get that contour just the way you want it, or you can use it for blush. Number 2 is an eye shader. It's for laying down pigment on the eye. You see how it's flat here? It's more skinny. You see how the base of the brush, they have like mashed it to make it flat. Well, this is a great brush for laying down, for packing, for laying down pigment. Like if you want to use, like on the lid, if you want to use that to like a shimmer, to pack it on there, to lay it down, that's what that brush is for. And that is number 2. Number 28. This brush is good. It's a little skinnier. It's also like smashed in the center there to make it flat. It's good for creams and shimmers. It opens the eye up, and I use this brush on the lid a lot. 29. This is a flat little brush. Can you see that? When I edit, I'll come in close. Can you see that? It's a flat brush. And I use this to just tap in the eyeshadow, and I use this to put it along the bottom sometimes. It gives you a wing look. If you're looking for I use it along the bottom sometimes, or if you do, people that do wing looks, you can bring that shadow on up and do a wing look. I don't do that anymore at my age. So those are my collection of rougher brushes, and that's all the brushes I own in rougher, and it's enough for me. It gets the job done along with all the other brushes that I have. It's perfectly fine, and that's all the brushes I need unless they come out. Now I take that back. I missed 3 brushes here. I do have the, bear with me just a moment. This is going to be a lengthy video. Shodo brushes that I purchased last. And there's 3. And these are the Shodo brushes. This is the 3 that I purchased last. Can you see those? They're pointy brushes, longer brushes. I purchased these in a 3-piece set. And number 00 is a flat tapered brush. What I mean by flat, when you turn it again, the metal on here is smashed, so it's more at an edge. And you turn it that way, you see it flat. This is good. It's for the taper for the eyes. You can just do a lot of things with this brush. Now what they have out for them to use, sometimes I don't use them for that, but that's 00. And number 02 is a long pointy brush. This is the longer, and this is a great brush to get in there and really get in there and work that darker color in that crease, to blend that in, almost like a bullet brush. But with a bullet brush you get more of a blunt. This really gets in there and drag it through there to where you can get that precise that you want. And number 03 is a pointy brush as number 2, but you can see number 3 is fatter, and this is a firmer brush. It's pointy, but it's more firm than number 2. It's fatter and more firm, and you just figure out what you need to do with this brush on your eyes and do it. So there we go. That's all of my rougher brushes. These are the brushes that I own by BK Beauty. I'm going to show each of them to you, and I'm going to tell you what they do. 101 is a foundation, contoured foundation brush. It's more flat, as you can see. You see how it's You can really pack the foundation on with this. It's good for creams or powders. Foundation, you can see how it's shaped. Turning it around, and it really packs that on. This is a type of brush. I'm not really crazy about this fat of a brush. I like more of a rounded brush, but I do use this brush on some of my foundations. That is number 101. It's a contoured foundation. BK Beauty are synthetic brushes. They hold up very well. I've never been disappointed with any of my brushes. Number 102 is a large powder brush. You can see this baby is just as fluffy as it can be, and this is for your powder to finish everything, to powder everything and set everything down here. And that's number 102. 103 is a bronzer. It is a smaller version of the powder brush. And you see that? It's good for the bronzer. Get up on the forehead and around the face, down on the neck. Like I said, it's fluffy, it's small. Smaller than the powder brush, but it's the same version, just smaller. That's 103. 104 is a tapered powder. This is more of a tapered, more of a, not a bullet brush, but it's more tapered, but it does fluff out well. This is the large powder, and the one on my right is the taper, which is 104. Some people like this type of a powder brush. 106 is a round foundation. Now, I prefer this type of foundation more than the flat one that I showed you earlier. I prefer this type of foundation to get in there and do what I need to do. It's just what I'm used to. And that's 106. That is a round foundation brush. 107 is a blush brush. That's a very nice, I like a blush brush like this with this type of shape. You can really get in there and blend that brush the way you want to do it. That's 107 blush brush. 109 is a mini contoured foundation. Now that's the same shape as the one I showed you earlier, the larger one. It's just a smaller version. If you have a smaller face, you get more control in certain areas, you might like this 109. I prefer this one. Not that I have a small face, but I prefer this one over the big one. And that's the 109. The 112 is a small angled face brush. You can use this for highlight. You can use it for contour. You can use it to add powder, to set powder. Just whatever you feel like you want to use it for. That's the 112. It is angled, as you can see that. 113 is a flat powder. You have three powders. You have the big one, you have the tapered, and then you have the flat, where you can see that one is flat. If I turn it around, it's flat on both sides. They have smashed this to where it's flat. Serves a lot of purpose. I use this to set powder underneath my eyes at times. Last brush I have is 202. This is an eye brush, and it's a tapered brush. It's a pointy brush, and it's great for blending the eyes and certain things that I want to do on my eyes. And that is my BK Beauty brushes that I wanted to share with you. Angie Hot and Flashy. Now that is through BK Beauty. The set of hers. This is A501, and this is a lid shader. This is for your eyes. This is Angie Hot and Flashy 501. And 502 is a crease shader that gets in there and works in the crease. Like I said, I can't see the numbers and all this if I take my glasses off, so I'm just showing you the brushes. A502 is a crease shader. A503 is a blender. This is a fluffier brush, larger, more fluffy, not as stiff, to where you can get in there and blend all those shadows. When you get done with all the detail work and get everything packed in there, you can blend and make sure everything's nice and smooth and flawless with this brush. This is the 503. 504 is a detailer. You can really pack in there in that corner and get all that little detail. You can put shadow in the corner of your eye to open that eye up with this detailer. It's good for that, to add it to the corner of the eye. 505 is a flat brush. This brush is tapered. It's smashed again. You can see it comes almost like a chiseled up to a point, and you see that. This is 505. This is a shimmer brush. That's good for shimmer, to put shimmers and frosty shadow on the lid to open your eye up. That's what that one's for. 506 is a concealer brush. Love this brush for putting on my concealer. You can see it's almost tapered there. The way it's tapered, it almost looks like a little kitten paw. And I love this for putting on concealer. It's just like a little kitten paw going around your eye, and you can really get in there and do what you need to do. A507 is a angled blush or contour. You can use this for both. Again, it's mashed flat. It has an angle to where it goes this way. It goes up to where you can wedge that in there, blend that in there, or you can use it for contour, just whatever you want to. But that is my set of Angie Hot and Flashy brushes. It's moving right along. The next set by BK Beauty, and this set is through BK Beauty, but it's actually Nikki LaRose. Now I have both sets of her brushes, and I'm going to show her both of those sets with you. I kept boxes. This is the Pro Artist Series by Nikki LaRose that I bought. It was either last year or a year before, I can't remember, but I bought this set when it first came out. This is her first set. This is a 7-piece set, and I kept the box. Why, I do not know, but I kept the box. So this is what that set looks like, and I bought those, and I want to share those brushes with you. Absolutely love them. Starting off with N11. The N is for Nikki, of course. And that angle, this is an angle brush. I want you to see this darling brush. This brush is good for the brows or the eyes. You see how it's very stiff, very firm, but it's angled. This is good for the brows. I love this brush for the brows. Product on the brows with this brush. Absolutely love it. You can do a multitude of things with this brush to put your imagination to work, okay? That is the N11. The N12 is a smudger. That is a flat brush when you turn it this way. Again, the base is smashed, so it makes it flat. These are synthetic brushes. You can apply powder or cream with these. I use this brush to apply shadow along the bottom or to smudge. That's what I use this brush for. Wonderful brush. Highly recommend it. The N13 is a blender brush for your eyes. This is a fabulous brush to blend, to get in there and blend that shadow or to blend it. That's what this brush is for. It's a longer tapered brush. It's more, not too fluffy, but not too stiff, just right. N14 is a multitasker brush. This is you can put powder underneath your eyes with this. This is a fluffier brush, more of a mini powder brush look, if you will. I don't want to apply it like that, but I use this to apply powder underneath my eyes when I want to set my concealer underneath my eyes. You can use this to apply highlight. I have 2 sets of these brushes. I want to tell you that right now. I have 2 sets. These are duplicates. I have 2 of these. I have the set I'm showing you, and I have 2 sets of number 1. I liked them so well. Back to this you can also use this for highlighter. N15 is a powder brush. You can really put that wherever you want to put this on your face for powder. It's a wonderful brush. So soft. It's just round. I love her labeling with her name there, and it has the number of the brush as well on each brush. N16 is a concealer. You see how this brush is pointy? It almost comes up to a point, a very sharp point. I think this was her hardest brush that she said that she had to work on. She wanted to get the precision of this brush just right to do what she needed it to do. This you can use for concealer. I use this brush an awful lot to contour down the bridge of my nose when I want to put the dark on the side of my nose. It's what I use this brush for, is a contour. But I have 2 sets of these, so I use the other one a lot for concealer, because you can turn it on its end and you can really get in there with that point and do what you need to do to blend out your concealer. That's the N16 in Nikki LaRose. The N17 is a foundation powder brush. This is a double-sided brush. As you see, it's a flat brush, but when you turn it, it opens up. The lighter side is for foundation, creams or powders, and then you can use the back side, the darker side, for strictly powder. You can use to apply your foundation, to get in there to do what you want to with this side, and then when you get ready to set your foundation with powder, you can use the back side. 2-in-1 dual. Set number 2 that she came out with. The box looks like in here. This is Pro Series, Artist Series number Volume 2. And this is an 8-piece set instead of 7. This is 8-piece. This is really a deluxe, nice set of brushes that Nikki came up with. And I'm going to share those with you too. The first brush is the N18. This is a contour brush. This brush is like a wide, stiff, but not too stiff, synthetic brush. This is great contour brush. You can, again, it's flat when you look at it this way, but when you fan it around, it opens up. This is a great brush. Again, her brushes are not weighted, but they're but they're fatter right here, where you can hold them right here to where you can get that good control. That's where you want to hold a brush, is right here, not down here or not back here. You want to hold it about in the center, right there where that hump starts. And this is good to put your contour on. It blended under here. Take care of the jaws and to blend down. I love this brush for contour. Absolutely love it. That is the N18. The N19. I love this brush. What more can I say about this brush? This is so unusual. This brush is like a powder puff. You can use this for concealer underneath your eyes. You can use it to clean up the edges. You see, I want to show you first of all how it's shaped. Can you see that? Can you see how it comes up to a point? I turn it this way and it is a point. Then I turn it that way and it's flat. And it comes up, it's just, she said she wanted to make a powder puff, but she wanted to do a concealer and clean up. Now you can really get in here and you can get that, use that point. When you're doing concealer, you can really get in there with that eye area, all the way in that corner. And you just keep pressing, 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 and tapping, 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 tapping. And you can get the control to bring that out, to get that blended just the way you want it, friends. And if you have too much here, you can just use this to kind of, on the edge, to just pull right up, to get that control, to pull all of that up, to get all of that blended up that way. Tap, 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 or to pull. Blend it the way you want it. Different from any other brush that I have in my collection. And that is the N19. That is such a special brush that Nikki has came up with. The N20 is a diffuser. I want you to look at this brush. The N20 is a diffuser brush. You want to see that brush. You see how when I spread it apart, it's almost like you got some short hairs and some long hairs. Well, that is almost like, you know, when your hairdresser maybe texturizes your hair or goes in there and snips some in fat areas to where it's bulky and it gives you, you can't get that lift and everything. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. Well, that's the same way with this brush. This N20, this diffuser, gives you such control when you want to add a light touch, a very light touch. Or you want to put highlighter just so, and you want that to be just perfect. You want it to just not be heavy, just kind of, or blush, whatever you want to use this for. You just barely touch it with a very light hand. Love this brush. Cannot say enough about this N20. Now we also have an N20 an S N20. This is a smaller version of the regular N20. You see that? The same concept, just smaller. And the SN20, this one is for diffusing. You can put a highlighter. It diffuses the light. When you want to add a little bit more, you can use this again for highlight. You can use this on your eye area, just wherever you want to put this, down through here on your nose to highlight that, just a little sparkle, not a lot, a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Can't say enough about that SN20. The N21 is a blender for the eyes. This is a pencil, almost like a little pointy brush. The N21, this is a blender for the eyes. You can really get in there and blend that bottom shadow on there, whatever you want to do with that. You just have to work your own little system. The N22 is a dome blender. Same concept, just larger. This is an eye brush, of course, and it's almost to a pencil point. And this is really good for that corner that you want to get that darker shade and get in there and blend and bring that out. N22. Love this brush. Absolutely. This is a great set of brushes. N23 is a mini multi-detailer. You can use this around your eyes. It's a flat brush, but it's almost tapered up to a point. If you want to use it to spot conceal, a little concealer here, you've got a blemish here and there you want to do, this N23 will take care of that for you. The last brush I have is the N24. This is a small packer. Same concept, but it is not as firm. It packs on the shadow, and it's not as pointy as what I'm trying to say. It's a flat brush, and again, up over the eye where you want to open that eye up after you do your shading and all your dark colors, and you want to put a lighter color, this was good to pack that shadow right in there to open that eye up. The 8-piece set of Nikki LaRose. the second set that I showed you, the second series that I showed you. I saved the box. Wonderful pro makeup artist. She really is, and I am just delighted that I own both sets of these brushes. As a matter of fact, set number 1, I told you I own 2 sets. I only own 1 set of the volume 2. And I have a few more brushes here that I just had on the bottom of that I didn't. These are duplicates of things that I had. I have another 103 BK Beauty. Those are duplicates. I have a 104 BK Beauty. I have a Meryl Norman brush that I've had for years. That's good for the eyes. I have a BK Beauty 112, an angle brush. I have an extra 502 Angie Hot and Flashy for the eyes. And I have 2 extra rougher brushes, which I have a 2 number 1. I showed you the number 1 for the eyes, one of my favorites. And I have a number 3 pencil brush. And I have those in a little container here that I had on the bottom that I was about to forget to show you. Are you counting? I'm not. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'll be right back. I may have to run this in 2 videos because my camera's getting hot, but we shall see. I got a lot of brushes to go, so hang in there with me. Okay, the next set of brushes that I'm going to share with you is by Morphe. These are my Morphe brushes. There's a handful there. Can you see those? These are my Morphe brushes. 08. This is a round smudger brush. It's good for the eyes. I use this under my eyes sometimes to smudge. I'm just going to pick them up as I go. I know what they're for. The 405. This is a contour brush which is tapered. It's synthetic brushes, but this one happens to be white. It's tapered. This is good for contour, or you can use it for blush, or you can use it for highlight, just whatever you want to use it for, but that's what its purpose is. The 439 is a foundation brush. This is good for liquid foundation, for creams, and for powders. It's a big fat brush. It's a buffer. And this is the 439. That's what the front looks like. It's very, very packed. And if you like something really fat that you can get in there and just buff and blend that and buff, 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 and blend to a flawless airbrush finish, this brush is for you, my friend. We'll put him away. And this particular brush is the E22. I use this brush a lot on my eyes to buff out the shadow, and it softens everything. It's very tapered, but yet it's fat. And this is a great brush to just get in there and blend. And these are all eye brushes that I have. The 709, this is a pointy packer. This is good for the lid. It's good for the inner corner. You can do detail work with this brush around the eyes. You can use it as a concealer, but mostly I think it's for the eyes. You can use for the inner corner to put that lighter color to open the eye up in the inner corner of the eye. And this one is 408. This is a flat packer smudger. It's good to smudge along the lower lash line. I wish I didn't wear glasses to where I could, show you that, but I can't see my numbers if I do that. The M321, this is a mini concealer. It cleans up. No, I pulled the wrong one. M321. Pull the wrong brush. 421, excuse me, 421. This is a mini concealer. You can use this to clean up. You can clean up like a concealer. You can clean up around the eye area. You can also use it to clean up when you put brow product on. If you get too much and you want to go in there with a concealer and clean up around your brows. If you get your lipstick out of line, you can clean up around your lips with this brush. That is the M421 brush. Here we go with this long baby. This is the 321. Sorry about that. The 321. This brush I use a lot. This is a dense bullet brush. You put the deep color in the crease of your eye, on the outer edge of the eye. That really packs that in there. This bullet brush has an extra long handle. Again, it's fat in the center there to give you that control that you want to hold it to get what you need to do. I love this brush. One of my favorites. This is the 441. This is the Firm Blending Crease brush. This is a goat hair brush. Like the rougher, this is goat hair. And that's good for blending. That's a really good blender brush for the eyes. And then we have 167. This is a packer shadow. Again, it's smashed. It's flat, pointy, and then it's flat. This is good to pack that shadow on, the lid. Moving right along to 165. This is a synthetic brush. It's flat angle. This is good to do a wing liner. If you want to do a wing liner, you want to put that liner out there to get a wing, you can do that. You can use it also to work on your brows. It's good for that as well. And then we come to the last brush, which is E29. This is a brow brush by Sigma. You've got your brush where you can brush your brows, and then you've got your pointy brush on the other end to apply product to the brows. And that does it for Morphe brushes. See how many more we can squeeze in before my camera says I'm too hot to operate. Okay, I want to show you a set of brushes. This is by Beili. I call it Bella. This is the Pro brush set. This is 15 brush set. As you can see, I have had these brushes since last year. I have not even opened these brushes. I have too many brushes. Yes, I do. I will list them up in the description box, but this is what they look like. I'm going to pull one out. Look at that. They have the same coloring as BK Beauty. I'm going to pull one out where you can see it. Take it out of plastic. I haven't even opened them. I am so bad. Had them since last year. They do have the net. They have the netting on them, so when they dry, you can put the netting back on them when you wash them. And so they can dry, so to protect them so they stay nice and tight. So save your nettings and use that for it. They have the same coloring as the BK Beauty, but they're Beili. And I got these on Amazon last year. Got them last fall. And they retail, I don't think I paid this for them, but they retail right now. I looked up on Amazon before filming this, and they're $31.99, and it's a set of 15. And this just happens to be just one brush that I pulled. You can see the gold with the burgundy color. Well, this is kind of like BK Beauty's pointer powder brush. Can you see that? And like I said, these are on Amazon, and they're $34.99 for the set of 15. And they feel really good. I'm going to open them and see if I need to use them or see if I need to pass them on to one of my granddaughters. Almost a year. Almost a year. I bought them last fall, and I haven't even opened them. Okay, here we go with Sigma. I'm going to show Sigma. First of all, I'm going to show you the Sigma switch. I use this. Sigma sent me these items a couple years ago. You suction it to your sink, and you put your cleaner on there, and you can wash your brushes when you wash them with cleanser. And they also sent me the Sigma cleanser foam. Just squirt you some foam on there and your brush and swish it back and forth, and it does a great job. And then this is the Sigma switch that I keep here on my dressing table. This you can see the different little holes, the different little etches. One brush, cleans one brush, and one does another. It's a double-sided thing, so if one gets dirty, you can just flip it, and that's what that's for. And it absolutely does a phenomenal job of just cleaning those brushes, dry brushes. You can just sweep it back and forth, and if you want to, before you go on to another color and that side gets dirty, you can flip it to the other side till you get a chance to wash it. So get that out of the way, and this is my Sigma collection. Now Sigma sent me a lot of these brushes, but then I also purchased a lot of these brushes as well. How we doing on the camera? I hope it's okay. Start right out with a little fat. This is a little chisel and trim contour. This is F77. These are fantastic brushes. They're synthetic, and I use this a lot for the contour. And this really chisels, and I use it a lot for not too much down my nose. I use my Nikki LaRose for that, but you can do that. It's a chisel and contour brush, and this is F77. And this is a contour blush brush. This is F53 Air. And when I say Air, there again we go back to that brush that I showed you earlier in a different brand, but you can see how they are. There's like you cut one and leave one long, and you cut one and leave one long, kind of like we do, the hairdresser does our hair to where it's thick, it's kind of thins it. This gives you a very soft look if you want to apply a soft blush or contour. This is a fabulous brush, one of my favorites. Absolutely love that brush. And then we have the F29. This is a bronzer brush, black handle, synthetic. This is a great bronzer to put your bronzer on, blend it down on the neck. Love that brush. F47 is a multitasker by Sigma. This is you can do a multitude of things with this. See how it's tapered? This is a good foundation brush to apply different types of foundation, liquid or creams. Love that brush as well. Moving along to E35, this is a tapered blender. This is a eye brush for blending the eyes, just getting everything really, really blended. That is the E35. Another eye brush. This is the E54. This is a medium sweeper. Again, on the eyes. It's an eye brush. A flat kabuka, the F80. Love this brush for like pancake makeup, like on the doll tin, a lot of pancake makeup. You can use this. It's total flat on there, but it really gets in there and blends that chat makeup the way you want it to blend. It's a flat kabuka, and it is F80. The setting powder, this is the F12. This is great for setting underneath the eye, or just setting anywhere you want to set that with powder. I use for a setting powder. This is the F12 in Sigma. I love the black and silver that they use for their F03. This is a high cheekbone highlighter. That's a very long brush. Cheekbone highlighter. You can use that just barely light strokes. You want to highlight those cheekbones, there's your brush, will handle the job for you. And we have the E42. This is the Precision Firm Blender. This is another eye brush that you can decide what you want to do with this brush, but it is a firm blender on the eyes. And then we have the small tapered blending. This is the E45. It's more of a tapered, not a bullet, but a longer brush. This is the E45. Again, that's another eye brush. And we have the E15. That's a flat definer. It's total flat. No angled at all to it. So if you want to put shadow underneath here, underneath the eye, and you do that, that's what I use this brush for, the E15 flat definer. Or you can, if you want to clean up, you know, here you can, just wherever you want to use it on your face. This is the E25 Sigma Blending. Again, this is a great blender brush. And those are my Sigma brushes. Okay, we're moving right along, friends. Here is another brush collection. This happens to be It Cosmetics. And we start right out. I've collected It Cosmetic brushes for years, absolutely years. And this is my Heavenly Luxe number 7 foundation brush. You've seen that many a times, me apply foundation on my face with this number 7 Heavenly Luxe brush, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. You could probably guess that is probably my favorite foundation brush right there. Absolutely love it for applying creams, liquids, foundation. It's a double-ended. You can also do concealer. You can get around the nose area with this brush. In little tight areas where this one is a little bit too large, you can just flip it. Or you can use it to do the contour, you know, down your nose, whatever. Love that brush. As a matter of fact, I have this brush, the same brush. I have another brush. And then I have another brush that has not even been opened, the same number 7 brush. Can you tell that this is my favorite brush? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It Cosmetics. It's a $50 brush unless you can catch it on sale on Amazon Prime Day, and I stock up. I want to make sure. I have 3, and I think I have another one floating around somewhere. But this is the Luxe number 7 by It Cosmetics. And this is It Cosmetics. This is a fan brush. I've had this brush for years, and if you have fallout on when you're doing your eyeshadow and you have a little bit of fallout and you want to just wisp it away, or a little bit too much there on the shadow, you want to just wisp it away, this brush has got you covered and will take care of that for you. I love this little fan brush. And you've seen me use this brush an awful lot. This is the 703. This is a full coverage brush, but I use this brush in particular for putting on my Hourglass Ambient Light palette. I just brush right across my Ambient Light setting powder and just apply this. This is the brush that I use to do that with, ladies. And again, this is the number 703. I don't even know if they have this brush anymore or not. So, and this is by It Cosmetics. This is the number 12. It is a a fat in the center. It's great. This is a brow brush. You can brush those brows. And it has an applicator on the other end, a pointed applicator for you to apply product. And I love this brush. It's it. And you can see you hold it right there. And that's where you hold your brushes to get the control, is right there in the center where that hump is. I'm going to turn my fan on because it's getting warm again. It's been warm. Okay, number 5 is one of my favorite brushes. This is a dual-ended brush. This is the eye brush. This is just, you can blend, you can apply, and then you've got a shader on the bottom. It's a stiff brush to where you can buff and blend out. If you get that shadow, you can buff that and soften that down there. And as a matter of fact, I think I have 2 of these. I do have another one here. There is another one. I do have another one. I have 2 of these. I liked them so well. They've been around for years and they're still going strong. But this is the same brush I showed you. It's the number 5. I have 2 of those. And this brush is the number 27. This is an all-over shadow brush. It's mashed there. And you turn it. And you can just all over shadow to put, you know, whatever you want to use. Everybody has their own brushes to where it might say it's for this, but you're going to use it for that. That's what I do. I use what works for Lee. That's what I do. And I've had this brush for years, way too many years to count. I don't even know if I can find the number on it. I think it's 200, the best I can remember. But this is a skinny, tapered brush. Can you see that? And it's mashed, but this is a great shadow for putting on that first base coat of the eye, you know, that eyeshadow. It's an eye brush. And notice how I hold my brushes right in the center, just like that. You don't want to go down here. Of course, if that works for you, go for it, sister, but you know, I just hold mine like that. And the last brush I have is, I don't even know if I can see the number on it. It's a little definer brush. It's an airbrush. I can't see the number. It's 122, I believe. It's silver and it's got silver writing and it's hard to see. But this is a tapered brush. You can clean up around the eye area, the brow with this. You can clean up around the eye with this. You can do a wing liner. I think that's really what it's for, is to put that wing, because it's so fine. Finally, can you see how that, there's no, I think this is more for a wing to put a liner, or you can line with it, but it's just a beautiful brush. That is my It Cosmetic brushes. And moving along to MAC, I do have some MAC brushes. Not many, but I do have some MAC brushes. And the first brush I have is the 210. This is a liner. If you're using liquid liner to line your eyes, this is a fantastic brush by MAC. It's the 210. To put that liquid liner to line your eyes with. And as a matter of fact, I think I have 2 of those. Yes, I do. I have 2 of those. Right there they are. They're the 210. Same brush. You know how you'll get a brush and you like one better than the other? The same brush, maybe they might put a couple more hairs in one. Maybe that's what happened to me. Maybe I just wanted to back up back in the days when I lined my eyes with liquid eyeliner. This brush has got to be at least 30 years old. I don't even know if they make it anymore. But anyway, I have 2 of those. And I have 2 bullet eye brushes. I love the 219 and I love the 219S. These are bullet brushes. They really put the 219 is firmer, very, very firm, and it really puts that shadow in that corner there. Really pack that in there, the bullet. This is the 219 by MAC. And then the 219S is a bullet brush, but it's a tad bit softer. And this is the difference in the two brushes, side by side. This one is the 219, and this is the 219S by MAC. Okay, that's the only MAC brushes I have. Okay, moving along to Profusion. These are my Profusion brushes. Let me pull them out. I have the FD1. This is the Buffing Foundation, the FD1. Love these brushes. They're like a very easy to handle, almost feels like a silicone, non-slip, and it's got an indentation here to where you can hold it right like that. Like if you're going to write, you can put your fingers right there and then you kind of rest, you know what I mean, and do your foundation. You know, for people that like this brush, I love the design of that brush. It's got the name right on there and the title, Profusion. Got these off of Amazon years ago. I'm sure they still have them. They did the last time I checked. And this is a Profusion, the same shape with that dome in the center there, the indentation. This is the flat tapered powder. This is the PF7. This is the flat powder. You turn it that way, and then you can see it there. It has the flat. This is great for putting on your powder if you like a flat powder brush. And we're moving right along. This is a large blending eyeshadow. This is the ES1 eyeshadow brush. This is a great brush. You can see that I have used it. Even though it's clean, I have used the Hound Dog out of it. This is great. Again, it has that indentation in the center to give where you know how to hold right there, and then let your hand rest there to gives you that control, and it just rests, and it just gives you that artistry control as if you're a makeup artist. But this is a great eye brush, one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. Price point, you cannot beat these brushes, just can't beat them. And I have the small pointed eyeshadow. This is the ES6. Same concept, it's just smaller. And then we have another one, small firm eyeshadow. Same concept, it's just shorter and fatter. This is the ES4. This is the 6, this is the 4. And we have one more, the ES2. This is the firm blending shadow. This is for blending. It's a little bit more, got some give to it, as you can see me play with it. This is the ES2 firm blending eyeshadow. These are on Amazon. They're not much money, and they are some really fantastic brushes by Profusion. That is all I own in Profusion, but they are fantastic brushes. The quality is really, really fantastic for the money. They really are. We're moving to e.l.f. This is a complexion duo. It's kind of like my It Cosmetics that I showed you a while ago. The $50 brush. Same concept, but not, the quality is not there. It's a drugstore brush. You apply your foundation, and then it's double-ended to where you can do your concealer or your contour, whatever you need to do. That is the e.l.f. Doesn't have a number. It's just a complexion duo. Most everybody probably has this brush. And then I have a putty primer applicator. This comes with the one of the primers where you can put it on. It's got a little scoop where you can scoop out your primer, the flat compact putty and e.l.f. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I use my fingers to apply my primer. I don't use this brush, and why I bought it, I do not know. Maybe I thought it might work, but it might have come with a primer or something. I don't know, but I have maybe used it, but I use it just my fingers. And then I have an e.l.f. eye brush. This is a lash and brow wand. It's white. You can use this on your lashes to brush your lashes. I don't have any lashes, but you know, you can, those ladies that have those long, beautiful lashes like I used to do, you can brush your lashes, or you can use it to brush your brows. That's a great brush to have around. And I do have a blending eye brush. It's just like a flat, pointy. A lot of these I'm going to pack up and send them to my granddaughter. This is a blending eye brush by e.l.f. And I also have a little black one. This is a small smudger. I must have wanted this for something along the line, but along the way you can see the edge there. It's just a very firm smudger. If you want to smudge some eyeshadow along the bottom, mostly on the bottom, you have to have a very small little thing you want to conceal to use that, but I think this is more for the eye. So these are my e.l.f. brushes that I picked up on Amazon, and this is by Energy. You can look on Amazon for Energy, and I think this come in a set of 3. I'm not sure if I bought them individual or not, but I must have bought them individual because I have 2 of these. These are concealer brushes. There's 2 just alike. I'm going to turn them side to side and turn around and let you see them. But this is kind of like Angie Hot and Flashy, the little kitten paw brush. You can see how that, just tap that on, tap it around the eye to blend that concealer. Does a great job. For the money, this is a great, great brush. I don't think they come in a set. I think I ordered them. And this is a blush brush number 400 in Energy. I haven't used this one very much, but it is good for blush, or you can use it as powder, but it says blush brush. This is number 400 in Energy. I got some more. We're going to get to the bottom pretty soon. I have another Morphe brush over here that I forgot to add. This is the 501. This is for highlighter. This is probably my favorite highlighter brush. I'm not sure. I have to look. But this has a very, very loose fibers in there that's great for highlight. And then I have another It Cosmetic brush over here, number 12. I have 2 of these. I just showed you one of those, and here's another one. This one is for the brow, and you can apply product with like that on the other end. And then I do have, this is another It Cosmetics brush. This is a brush that I apply my eyeshadow primer with. This is the Velvet Luxe. It's basically a concealer. It's 314. 314 is the name of this brush. It is basically says it's a concealer, but I use this brush to apply my eyeshadow base. That's what I use this brush for. And I have another one of these, number 5, these by It Cosmetic Heavenly Luxe blender. I have several of these floating around. That's another eye brush with a shader on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, and this brush I have had for, I guess, 35, 40 years. before I started using my Angie Hot and Flashy, this is the brush I used. And it does not have a name on it, so I don't ask me what this brush is. I don't know, but it worked good for me, and it's still going strong after this. It's got to be at least 35, if not 40 years old. It's tapered. Can you see that? I turn it around that way. It's got that, basically that kitten paw, and this is a great, still working great, strong. If I want to use this as a backup and not use my Angie Hot and Flashy for my concealer. I have two of those, but I have this baby. Still going strong. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Okay, we're down to a few more, and then we're going to wrap this up. That's all my brushes, okay? These are picked up somewhere along the line. These are like Soho brushes. The name of them is Soho. They have a wooden handle. They have very, very nice brushes. The brush quality is excellent. I had a whole set of these. I think I picked them up years and years ago, maybe at TJ Maxx, you know, one of those places, but I'm down to these. I've got rid of everything but these. This is actually a contour face brush, and it's still good. The quality is still good. I can't tell you how many times I've washed it, how many times I have used it, and it's still going strong. There is nothing on the wood that even showing wear. I have washed it a million times. It's a contour face brush. Still use it. Put it in my contour tray, and I still use it and still love it. And these are companion that were in that set. This is wore off, but it is an eye brush. It's wore off. And here's another like little bullet. This one's starting to show a little bit of wear here, but again, it has no number, but it is that same companion to that. I just have 3 of those, so. But they are part of my brushes. And these are 2 little blush brushes that I picked up. These are by Do Care, and these are blusher brushes. This is F03. I have 2 of these that I picked up a couple of years ago on Amazon. For the quality, look on Amazon if you're looking for a good, inexpensive blush brush or any of their brushes. It's by Do Care. And you can see this is a F03 Do Care. They have a complete line, or they have a full set. I thought I wanted to try a couple of these, and I used these for a long time for years ago, and I used my label, and I labeled 1 coral and 1 pink. Can you see that? Coral and pink. So I would have 2 in my blush thing. I still use them. They're still going strong. I have 1 Real Techniques brush, only one, and this is the 439. 439 is considered to be this end, and 438 is considered to be the contour, to do the contour. And then if you want to pop this down, this pops up to save the brush and keep it from getting bent when you're putting it in a container. And this is for the contour around the nose, down the side of the, excuse me. I'm losing my voice, people. I have some water. The Real Technique brush that I have. I had a good selection. I got rid of all of them but this one. 1 Tarte brush. This was in a promotion somewhere along the line. This is a concealer brush from Tarte. It came with some Tarte product that I bought. So anyway, it's a Tarte brush. It's a concealer brush. That's what that is. And I have 3 of the, I have an angle shader, a classic shader, and a detail shader. These are all eye brushes. I'm not even going to list those because I don't think you might. I found these on Amazon years ago. That's a detailer, and this an angle, a flat angle, you know, to where you can really get in there and bring that out. So Those are brushes. I told you I would show you everything I have, even though it's scroungy, even though it's bit the dust, I'm going to show it to you. And this is a brush that I picked up on Amazon. This is considered a concealer brush, but the concept of this brush is kind of like the one that Nikki LaRose with the concealer brush. You can see how I'm going to show it to you. You can see it smashed on the end to give you that control on the end right there, so when you go in. I want to show you what I'm talking about. So if you're going to do a concealer, and you're going to go in there kind of like Nikki's, you can go right in the corner, and you can get right in there and get in there to do what you need to do and pat that around. It's a little firmer than hers, but I did get it off of Amazon. I thought it looked interesting before I got Nikki's second set, and I bought that brush. It wasn't much money, but this is the 193, and it is a concealer brush, and I'll hold it up there and let you see the name of it. And then I have a doll tin brush that came with a foundation that I purchased last year. This came with it, or I paid for it. This is a precision coverage and contour brush. You see the dome of that? It's really packs that foundation in there. And this is by Doll 10. And this is a kind of a fan contour brush. The name is wore off, but I've had this brush for a long time too. I think I picked it up on years ago on Amazon, how it's flat. It's a good for, you can do contour with it, you can do under here, and you can sweep down. Just a multitude of things. The name is wore off of that, so I don't have any idea. And this is an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. This is the number 18. Now, before I got my brows microbladed, and I was messing around with all of those powders and pencils and potions and motions, I would clean up around here. I don't have to now because they're microbladed, but if you want to do some cleanup with a contour or anything on your brows, this is a great brush. This is the most fabulous 18 Anastasia Beverly Hills brush to do that cleanup around your brows with. Fabulous. They recommend this for the brows, especially this number 18 by Anastasia. I do have had these for years and years and years. This is a Merle Norman. I have two old Merle Norman brushes. As you can see there, they're Merle Norman. One is an eye contour, and one is an eye shader. There is a long pointy brush, and there's a blender. This is a shader by Merle Norman. These are sable brushes. They were pricey back in the day, and I don't know how much they are now. I haven't been to Merle Norman studio in years and years and years, but these are, they definitely are sable brushes, and I want to hang on to those brushes. Okay, friends, we're going to try it again. We keep getting cut off because my camera gets hot. This is such a long video. I apologize. I've got one last brush to show you, and then I've got a grouping of brushes, and then we're going to wrap it up, okay? The name of the brush, I'm going to hold it up and let you see the name of this brush. It's a lash fan brush. It's yellow. I got it on Amazon. And what this fan brush does, you take mascara off of a mascara, you dip it on mascara wand, and you take and you feed this brush up like this, up underneath, and you put mascara up on your lashes up like that. That's how you do it. You can get way back up under there and get it up under there on the back. You know, you just hold it up like this and just feed that brush back in there. And you can also feed it on the bottom lashes. So that's a great little brush. It's a $10 brush on Amazon. These brushes are by Alter Ego. They sent me these brushes here a while back, and they sent me a complete set of, I've had them out working with them today, doing a Get Ready With Me, and I have a complete set of Alter Ego brushes of 15 brushes, I believe it is, in this set. 15 or 21 maybe. But anyway, these brushes are fantastic. I have some of them that I haven't even opened. There's some there that hasn't even been opened. And I'm not going to take all of these out because this video is getting way too long. I've showed you a lot of these, but this is what the brush looks like. It's Alter Ego. It has the number. It has a creamy handle with the gold, and they're just like that. And there's everything from powder to foundation, eye brushes, contour brushes, blush brushes, concealer brush. You know, there's a complete set, and those are by Alter Ego. I can't even talk at this point. I feel like I've played bingo all day. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you, my friend. And if you were one that have been waiting on this brush video, I showed you every single brush that I had. I went through and I weeded out a lot of brushes. And I'm still going to weed through these now that I've got this second brush done. I done a video here a while back, and it got lost somewhere along when you put them on auto upload, and somehow it got lost. And I contacted YouTube, and they said, well, we cannot find that video. We just can't find it. So I'm having to do another one. So if you're one that's been waiting on to see all my brushes, I did them by brand, and I hope it wasn't too long or boring. But I thank you for watching today, my friend, and leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite brush brand is, if you would, please. You probably, like me, you have a Duke's mixture. I will be doing a separate video, and out of all the brushes that I own, I'm going to be sharing my favorite brushes that I reach for to do each thing on my face. Okay, to apply my eye makeup, to apply my makeup, to apply my foundation, to apply my eyeshadow, my blush, my contour, my powder, every brush, highlight, everything. I'm going to do a separate video. Leave you with my favorite words. Go out and make today better than yesterday, but always remember that I love you. Have a video for you, my friends, next Thursday. Have a wonderful summer. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.